Welcome back to LJ's Comic Borough. My name is Jay, and the first thing I'd like to do is be able to thank all the YouTube community that reached out to me and left amazing comments and was so nice to me when they didn't have to. All the shout outs that I received from all the YouTube owner channels that reached out to me and let me know that I was doing a good job and that they were watching. Thank you. Thank you so much because you surely didn't have to do as much as you did. I appreciate all that you did, and hopefully one day I'll be able to maybe do something in return for somebody else that's just starting their own channel. So, thank you again. The second thing I like to do is introduce you to my first co-host, actually, the pretty much the man of the hour, the the little baby boy that the show is actually named after. His name is Lockjaw, which is LJ's Comic Borough. He is 7.5 years old, and this is like the third or fourth time I've actually done this part. So right now he is probably starting to get a little annoyed with me. This past week, though, he ended up having an emergency visit to get his stomach taken care of. He was having some stomach issues, which is preventing him from eating. I'll let him get back to sleep. This is actually his little sleep time, and I'm annoying the hell right out of him. Like I said, this is probably the third or fourth time I've actually recorded this, and this is the third or fourth time I've actually gotten to this part alone. So now he's just looking at me like, please stop touching me. I just want to go to bed. Because this is pretty early in the morning, and he's used to all darkness about this time. Shortly, he's going to be getting some medication and a feeding here. So this week I have only about 4 issues to actually talk to you about. I've told you guys before I'm poor, so I'm a little behind on my actual comic pickups. I do have a large shipment coming in from Four Corners, which I work with uh, constantly on the comic app, the Comic Hub app, to order books from them, and they're so gracious to be able to mail my books to me. So a nice shout out to Four Corners Comics, who does that, and doesn't even charge me an arm and leg for delivery. I think my next big box of comics is only about $8 and maybe 50 cents altogether, which is pretty nice. So these are my comic books that I pick up here from my other local comic book store, which is Comics Connection down here in York. And they usually go out of their way to be able to find me whatever covers I want for the issues that I'm getting. Except for Aliens. Aliens, I get through a subscription. Um, I pay Marvel uh, a lot less than what I do to pick up comics here at my local comic book store. And the subscription actually lasted me a lot longer than I even imagined. And at this time, I'm pretty much finishing up the small run that I'm working on that I'm canceling altogether. Uh, I've enjoyed it, but I'd rather put my money to other things, especially after reading the third issue here. And I'll talk to you about that when I get to it. The first issue I'd like to talk to you about is Gunslinger Spawn. Todd McFarlane, Brett Booth, is putting together another classic horror. And I'm trying to tell you guys, it is 22 issues in. If you can find the back issues of Gunslinger Spawns, they have done an amazing job, and this is the best Spawn book out there. The artwork is phenomenal. The writing and everything that they're getting Gunslinger Spawn involved in. I mean, he's basically a future, I should say, somebody coming from the past into the future and stuck, and he's trying to figure things out himself. Um, Pick this. Try to start picking up Gunslinger Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn is an amazing Amazing series to be able to read. And Todd McFarlane himself is still writing this series. It's the best series out there. If you're going to read a Spawn book, this is it. The next series that I'm going to talk to you about is such a fun series. I've enjoyed it from issues 1 now it's right now to issue 4 that I've been reading. It reminds me of actually watching the movies, except it's on paper. The artwork, the story that's being told is phenomenal. The group fall story, hell, even in one of the captions, it almost looks like Johnny Alive from Short Circuit. They have basically that's what they call Groot, and it's the story is amazing. It's pretty much this issue number 4, but bam, it's pretty much a Rocket story and how much he really does miss Groot and what's going on at the time. So if you get a chance, this is issue 4. Pick up this series and run with it. It's a great series. I stand behind it. I just got done getting caught up with it tonight, and I haven't been let down yet. So, if you love Guardians of the Galaxy, the movies, pick up this series. You won't be let down. All right. I read and got caught up on my Moon Knight today. I was a couple issues behind, and with things going on, I got animals, I got chores, I got stuff I actually got to do around the house. I don't have time to read all the time, but I do when I get a chance. I will spend an afternoon and get caught up on my comic books because I want to be able to sound like I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to you guys. I don't want to sound like I'm half dumb and half stupid trying to describe what's going on in this book, and I keep going do. Now I can. Moon Knight number 25, an oversized issue. Phenomenal, setting up, spoiler, for the death of Moon Knight and a new Moon Knight taking over. And I said spoiler. Y'all can get mad. The only thing I have an issue with that spoiler is the needless death of Miss Marvel, which causes this soon-to-be death to mean nothing. And the death of a comic book hero should mean something. But what you do is you get introduced to the character that pretty much takes over as the next Moon Knight. So you get introduced to that person in this issue. It's a pretty much like a back series, a backstory issue, but completely worth it. Being introduced gets you kind of caught up with what's going on in today. A lot of backstory about how he knows this person and what's going on. Jed MacKay has done phenomenal with this. So I couldn't be more honest with you to please, if you love Moon Knight, if you love the Disney Plus series, this is the series that you're going to want to get. You get to meet all the different personalities of Moon Knight. You get to experience all his delusional characters. Get into this book. This is a phenomenal book, and you really won't be disappointed. I know I've said that already a couple times, but I'm getting to my last issue of the night, and you're going to be completely disappointed. So before then, please get into this book. It's phenomenal. Jed MacKay hits another home run. Now, like I said in the beginning of this series, or the beginning of this episode, I'm canceling Alien. I did read. I did read this last issue here, and after reading this last issue, I was completely let down. The story itself. Um, there's really nothing to it. And I'm not saying it because there's not a lot of writing or not a lot of dialogue, because there's not. Um, you can have an issue and it can be good without a lot of dialogue, as long as the artwork pretty much, tells the story for it. But unfortunately, I felt like I was reading a child's book with shit and dickhead in written in the issue, and a few other curse words here and there, which is fine. I love cursing just like the next person. I'm a fan of George Carlin, but this issue was I think the beginning of the end. I think for me and the Alien series, the first two issues were decent. I enjoyed it. I appreciated where they were headed, but they got lost. Seriously lost. And I think I'm coming to an end for the series myself. I'm going to finish out the last of the run. This is issue number 3, Alien. Beautiful artwork in the cover. Whoever's doing these covers for Alien, bravo! You're selling the book, because what's inside this book is complete bullshit. It's garbage. If you guys have any opinions about any of the issues that I showed you, if you like, dislike, could care less, leave a comment. Like, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment. But so the artwork on this cover, though, is phenomenal. I would buy it just for this. But then you open it up, and I felt like a 3-year-old could probably do better drawing and tell a better story. So that being said, I'm done. I'm finishing it up. I have that subscription. I've already canceled it, but I've already paid for the rest of the subscription. So I'm going to finish up the series. I will let you guys know my personal opinion on where I see how they finished up. I think it ends on issue 6, and that's the thing about these Alien issues. They're going 1 through 12, 1 through 6, 1 through 5, 1 through whatever, and unfortunately, sorry, that is one of my other rescues. That's Simba, and he's a fierce little lion. If he doesn't get his way, he will row and growl around anything about him. So, that being said, I'm personally, this is probably the last of the number 3 for Alien that I will get. Do yourself a favor, Marvel. Just go 1 through whatever. Don't keep starting back on number 1 over and over and over again. There's no reason. There's just none. It's just confusing as fuck. There's no point. Just like Legacy number 184 for Guardians. Just call it issue 184, not 4. 184. You're not lying to anybody. There doesn't need to be a number 1 every 20 issues or every 50 issues or dear God, every 6 issues. There doesn't need to be. Chill it out. Look, I couldn't even tell you what the legacy number for the Moon Knight is at this point in time, but it's just ridiculous. On that note, and I've said that a few times, I know. This week is a very, very special week for my wife and I. This week we celebrate our 7th anniversary. We've been together for 13 years, but this will be our 7th anniversary, wedding anniversary. So tomorrow I am doing a wedding a wedding. Uh, I'm, I'm sorry. When you have animals, things happen, and just hearing them. So this tomorrow I'm going to be doing like a pretty much like a wedding show. I'm going to be bringing out at least my favorite wedding issues that I have from Marvel, DC, Image, or whatever, and I'll be showing them off. I'm going to say from the very beginning, I wish I had the Fantastic Four's wedding of, you know, Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman. I do not. Another issue I wish I had um, would be Flash, Barry Allen, and his wife. That would be another fantastic one. But I do have some phenomenal wedding issues that I like to share. One issue I will not share is Batman and Selena. That's just that's we all know what happened there, right? There's no you know no spoiler there. She left him at the altar. It happened so long ago, so I won't be showing that one. I do own it, but I will not. That is not one of the issues that I want to show off. So, from all of us to all of you, thank you again. And one more visit from my co host as he tries to go back to sleep for the last time before his medication. Y'all say hello and goodbye to my little boy Lockjaw, who hopefully I have for at least another year. Y'all take care and good night.